Hi guys, we want to look at recovery and remedial activity as a clear path towards efficiency portfolio administration management, and this is taken by, of course, me, Larry Joshua, the head of recovery and remedial assets. We will be looking at the keywords. Lending operation is a two-way traffic which generally involves extending a loan and then recovering that loan. However, the ground reality is far from being too process simple. What do we mean by the reality is far from being too process simple? That is to say, lending may involve the aspect of giving out loans and at the same time recovering such loans, but it is far beyond these two processes. We need to look at the initial process of appraisals, we look at evaluation, we look at the processes which involves when these loans are given, how do you give out these loans. Those processes are the reason why these are not two-way simple. And when it comes to the recovery and remedial aspect of it, you look at the process of recovering these loans. Sometimes you may have to make recourse to the guarantors if the loan customer is at large, or if the businesses is no longer in existence, or if this customer has actually relocated. Sometimes some of them absconded. Sometimes they diverted this money to some other businesses, and as a result of this, it is not as simple, and these loans are irrecoverable sometimes. And so you need to understand that lending operation is far beyond the two-way traffic thing, is far beyond being too process simple, but goes beyond this level as regards the other processes involved in giving out this loan and at the same time recovering this loan. Like I earlier said, that there are processes involved in giving out this loan. One, you need to appraise this loan. This customer needs to be credit worthy. He must have the character and willingness to pay. You must do an extensive appraisal and evaluation of this customer to see, or to a large extent, where you can, beat your chest and say this customer will be able to pay back. And when we look at the other angle of recovery, when this money is no longer coming as expected, all we need to do is we have to go through other processes such as demand notices, such as consistent calls, follow up, and sometimes we go beyond this and then recover those assets that were placed as security for this loan. And sometimes, as a last resort, we may need to refer this to the legal department, where we will need to go to court. What is efficient portfolio administration management? This is the aim of reducing risk or cost of fund with the aim of generating additional capital or income without any additional risk. Now, the key factor of EPAM is to reduce risk. What do we mean by this? Now, when we talk about efficient portfolio administration management, it is for us to reduce the risk of the cost of funds that is being given to these customers. Now, what is the risk of the cost of fund? Every fund that is being given to the loan customer are fund that is being sourced either from our customers who have come to fix their money, or either the shareholders fund, which is supposed to generate dividend for them, or return on investment, and this fund come with a cost. And so in order to efficiently manage our portfolio, we also need to reduce the risk of cost of fund. That is to say, there must be efficient collection and recovery of our money as at when due, in order to be able to manage our portfolio efficiently. In continuation, many financial institutions have to bear the brunt of delinquent loans despite keeping numerous checks in place, and if these loans are left unchecked, their bulk can slowly penetrate business operation and leave them gasping for air. That is to say, if we do not monitor our loans, if we do not consistently follow up our loan, if there are no pre and post disbursement in places, that means most of the loans given out by us could be bad, and at the same times, when they are unchecked, they can penetrate into our daily business operation and can cripple the bank, sometimes can lead to the closure of the bank. And so we must understand the major reason why loan has to be consistently followed up, right from the day of disbursement to the last day when the loan is going to expire. You must consistently follow up these loans to ensure that they are performing, and you must have a zero tolerance to pass and watch, zero tolerance to substandard, zero tolerance to doubtful, not to talk about the loss aspect of it. So we need to constantly check and monitor our loans consistently in order to be able to manage our portfolio efficiently. Now we are going to be looking at the recovery and remedial activity, a clear path to efficient portfolio management. 1. There can be several reasons for a borrower to default on their repayment when it comes to delinquent loans. However, knowing how to recover loans from defaulters is crucial in mitigating financial impact of such situation. Now, what do we mean, and how better can we explain this? Sometimes borrowers, may default without paying their loans, either because they have character issue or they don't have the capacity to repay, or some of them may have a genuine reasons, circumstances beyond them, why they do not want to pay the loan. Now, what do we do in this aspect? You must put measures in place as to how to recover these loans, and that is why we have recovery and remedial activity. There is a department that is saddled with the responsibility of going after these customers in order to get back the money that was given to them. There are several strategies that we can use or that we can adopt in order to get back these loans. It is better to ensure no stone is unturned in recovering what can be best managed to avoid losses on the bank's part. Sometimes we need to call back the loan if we see that the loan, the first and second repayment has not come. Sometimes we need to quickly call back the loan and ensure total recovery and remedial asset. In some cases, we will have to go beyond just writing to customers, making calls to them. Sometimes we go ahead and make sure that securities placed for this loan, goods, hypothecation of goods, the goods that were used as collateral for this loan are recovered and immediately sold off for the bank to recover its money. With this, I can guarantee you that as long as we can do 95% collection and expired loans are quickly you know, we can intervene quickly on loans that are already expired, then I can assure us that we'll be on a very, very, very good path towards managing our portfolio efficiently. Hence, it is best to rely on loan recovery and remedial activity, which is aimed at ensuring defaulters pay back the money given out to them as loan for an efficient portfolio management. How do we embark on recovery and remedial activities? The quote "prevention is better than cure" cannot be overemphasized when applied to the financial institution. And to prevent loans from turning into bad debt, we must, 1, understand the applicant's creditworthiness better. This will help the bank to quicken their loan recovery process by ensuring they only lend to credible customers in the first place. Now, what do we mean by creditworthy customers? These are customers that have taken loan over time and have repaid without any default. These are people that have taken loans over time and have not given any excuses towards giving their loan. So the credit history of every loan customer will show whether such loan customer is creditworthy or not. But like I rightly said, that it is better to put in place those processes that will make us understand whether a customer is creditworthy or not. 2, monitor customers' activity. The bank can benefit from keeping a check on the activities of their borrowers through predefined systems such as pre and post disbursement visit, daily collection visit, and consistent follow-up on exception cases to avoid delinquency. That means you must have a way you monitor your loan customers. Before a customer is giving out a loan, there must be something you call pre-disbursement. You must go and see, verified, that is visitation. There must be a visitation towards that customer to see what the customer has in terms of stock, and also to evaluate what he has in his house. That is in order for you to be able to predetermine that if anything should go wrong, you must have put something in place in order to recover such money. And so by doing this, you must consistently communicate with your customer. You must consistently follow up on your customer. You must consistently write exceptions on what you have noticed in your customer's shop. If the goods, if he has diverted the money, if the goods that he collected the money for is not there, you must bring such up in order for us to swing into action so that we can quickly recover this money. And the third one is trace debtors. One of the reasons loan never get returned to the bank is because some of the loan customers relocate without providing us with their new businesses or home addresses. And so we would need to trace these debtors. And that is the reason why when you are visiting a customer, when you are about to give customer loan, you not just only go after the customer, you must create a relationship around that environment so that you can be given daily information about this customer's whereabouts. Once you create that relationship with people around there, then you can be rest assured that when this person eventually relocated or absconded, and he or she may have one or two friends around that environment, they would confide in you and ensure that you can immediately trace these customers in order to recover your money. In continuation, loan recovery becomes even more difficult in such cases if these customers have not, by way of communicating to the bank, because it is a policy of the bank that when a customer is relocating, he must come to the bank and make the bank give them the new detail of where he or she is relocating to. But a lot of customers have taken advantage of not coming to the bank, to give us their new location. And so that was why I came up with the idea of, whenever you are giving out a loan to a customer, you must be friendly with those that are within the environment of that customer, so that they can give you a first-hand information when a customer is relocating. We've had instances where people around a customer had to call us at the middle of the night, very early in the morning, to give us an information that a customer was trying to run away, pack out his things, and with such information you can quickly swing into action and ensure that you recover your loan from the customers. Sometimes, peradventure, you have to rely on the guarantors to say that actually guarantees these customers, and through them trace where the new location of this customer is and ensure full recovery. Now, when this is timely achieved, the bank will minimize losses in terms of unpaid loans, improve cash flow, enable business expansion, and reduce our portfolio at risk. In conclusion, the incessant increase in our non-performing loans are affecting the performance of the bank, both financially and psychologically. It has become a major cause of concern, and very essential to create an efficient portfolio administration management through embarking on aggressive loan recovery and remedial activities as a tool towards achieving the overall objective of the bank. Thank you.